Hi guys, this video is going to be a bit different. I wanted to talk about why I haven't been producing that many comedy videos since I started my Patreon. I wanted to offer an explanation to my Patreon backers and also to all the other viewers as well. So this video won't necessarily be for everyone. It's very introspective. It's about a personal issue. It's not about board games, and it's not really going to be funny, so don't feel like you have to watch it, but if you would like an explanation for why things have maybe changed a bit with Actualol, I believe that ultimately it's good news for the channel. That's where the video is going to end, and that's why I feel comfortable talking about it, but it sort of explains like the last sort of 6 to 9 months of my life. So, yeah. Last year, I started experiencing anxiety that just took over my life, and you may have noticed that the channel just went quiet for 2 months in July, and that was because I just wasn't coping. I started to make videos again, but I didn't do so many comedy videos because I was just struggling at the time, and I wanted to say something to people, but I was also kind of scared of vocalizing it and saying it out loud and making it real, and I also didn't want people to just give up on me. The good news is that I finally feel like I'm coming out the other side of it. I've been seeing a therapist, but also I've had to change some of the ways that I kind of approach life and this channel. For almost 3 years, Actualol's been a complete obsession for me. I just would think about it non-stop. From the games that I need to review to the view counts I'm getting on each video, the subscribers, posting it on Twitter. I would have long conversations with my girlfriend about kind of what's done well and what hasn't and what I can do in the future. And it was because like I dreamt that at the end of it that I could make it into some kind of career, and I was always just desperate for it to succeed, partly because I just really needed it to succeed. YouTube is just one big popularity contest, and you can't help but get upset when you don't get as many views as you did with your last video, or when a fellow YouTuber is doing better than you, or when one video doesn't do as well on Reddit as your last one, and how you aren't getting in as many subscribers as you used to. You just overanalyze everything. Making videos is a roller coaster of emotions. You put pressure on yourself to make it as good as your last video whilst you're making it, and then you release it and there's this endorphin rush from all the positive comments you get, but it doesn't last, and then you're soon like stressing out that it's been too long since you made your last video and it's not going to be as good, and you're writing and editing it and just thinking bad thoughts about it. It's shallow and it's unhealthy, and when you connect it to this dream of a career that you want, every video that doesn't do well, it feels like a sign that the dream isn't going to happen. And so when you're thinking about it all the time, it just becomes your whole existence. And when your whole existence is one thing and then you start to see cracks in it, you're seeing cracks in your whole existence and you've got nothing to fall back on. So lesson 1 is don't make your YouTube channel your entire life. Another potential cause of my anxiety is loneliness. I've been working from home for about 8 years and it just hasn't been very good for me. I'm a people person. This is why I play games. I thrive around other people, and I spend almost all of my time on my own, and so I don't have anyone to laugh and joke with. I don't have anyone to share my problems with, which just means I'm in my head a lot of the time. I started renting a desk when my Patreon started, which helped, but I just couldn't really afford it. To add to that, Actualol itself is a lonely endeavor. I don't have anyone to turn to for advice or help. I do everything on my own. So if something goes wrong, it's my fault. And I have to write and present and do the video and edit and social media and now fundraise. And I just want someone to be able to collaborate and brainstorm with. But at the same time, I can't expect someone to help me without being able to pay them, which I can't. So lesson 2 is don't do everything on your own. Introducing money has added new pressures. The surprise success of the Patreon was great. It gave me renewed hope and positivity, but it also gave me something new to worry about. And so for every bad video or week that I delayed posting a video, I would lose backers, and this was money that I was relying on, and so it just created this extra pressure and that stoked my anxiety and my fear of failure, and then it would make it worse. I would really put pressure on myself to make something really good, but then I would end up not really producing anything. My long-term goal with Actualol is still to make it into a viable career, but I just can't rely on it at the moment when every drop on my Patreon affects my mood. I've been a freelancer for 8 years, and right now I just need some stability for the sake of my mental health. When my anxiety was at its worst, I just couldn't think about the channel at all. I wasn't posting on Twitter, I wasn't replying to comments on YouTube, I just didn't have the headspace for it. And one of the things that I set up with the Patreon was a Slack channel, which is like a message board for my Patreon backers, because I wanted to offer them something that was an affordable thing that I could offer, but that gave something back to them that only they had. And yet I found that I just couldn't be in my public mode like all the time. I needed time away from Actualol John. And one of my backers actually messaged me and kind of called me out on this lack of engagement, and I just felt like I'd let them down. I don't have all the answers, and I can't say for certain that my anxiety won't come back with a vengeance, but for now I've found a solution that I'm happy with, and I'm the happiest I've been in over a year. My solution is that I've got a job. I'm working for the company behind Fog of Love, doing PR and marketing, and I'm just super excited about it because I've been following this game for 3 years and played it myself and love it. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Actualol is trying to reach new people with games. Being an advocate for the hobby and all the kind of new and exciting stuff that board games do. And I feel like Fog of Love is a perfect example of that. It allows me to continue to do that. Because of the obvious conflict of interest, I won't be reviewing Fog of Love on the channel, but do me a favor, go and watch the Shut Up and Sit Down review. I think they absolutely nail it. It's one of their best videos, but they totally just explain why I really love the game and why I'm so excited to be publicizing it and talking about it, why it's so different to other board games. But this isn't the end of Actualol. In fact, this is great news. I'm more excited than I've been in ever about making videos. I'm coming up with ideas in the shower again. I'm thinking about new ways that I can improve stuff. I don't feel that pressure anymore. I've got my mojo back. And as a person, I'm happier. I don't feel like I'm on my own anymore. I'm working with other people. I'm not relying on an unstable income. I don't feel the weight of Actualol on me. I'm just free to enjoy it for what it is. My long-term dream is still to make Actualol into something big. It wouldn't exist today without your support, and I'm going to be using that money to invest in new equipment, and if it grows bigger, I'm going to look into paying people to edit videos for me. I hope to continue to reach bigger audiences, and maybe one day it will be able to support a more sustainable setup. Personally, I'm no longer burdened by the need for that to happen. It's just a nice possibility, and that feels like a nice change. Thank you for making it this far. It's a relief to be transparent about all of this. I can't keep up with a Slack channel. I can't promise Timmy every month, but I can focus on what I'm good at, which is telling the world how awesome board games are, making sure to tell you which ones are worth playing, and making people laugh along the way. Thank you for waiting for me whilst I dealt with one of the roughest bits of my life. I know that I've got more good videos in me. I'm not going to rest on my laurels. I hope that you come along and see where this all goes.